Hey, it's Jaden.
And Melissa.
And Christy.
We're
the co-founders of Launchers Academy.
And we help dropshippers become successful by providing the most relevant e-commerce strategies.
You're tuning into the Launchers Academy podcast experience,
where you will learn all the ins and outs of how to build your very own successful dropshipping store.
So kick back, take lots of notes, and let's make money this year.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode at our Launchers Academy podcast experience. For today, we have a topic that a lot of our students actually ask us, and a lot of people in the industry also wonder about, which is when and who should they hire as their first team member for their e-commerce business. A lot of times you're working very, very hard initially in this business to really build and start your business. But once it starts getting more consistency, or you realize that the workload is starting to really pack up, that's when you want to start thinking about hiring some additional team members to really help you with your workload that you have. Or if you want to take more of a backseat of not having to really dig deep in your business, but working more so on your business, this is another reason why you should really listen to this episode, because we are really going to dive in on who and when you should hire your first team member. So I'm going to start off with Jaden here. What are your thoughts on when you should be hiring your first team member?
When you should hire your first team member, I would say from my personal experiences is when you feel like it's getting too much. And what I mean by too much is that, you're making good amount of sales. You feel like you're running all over the place like a chicken with your head cut off. You are wearing multiple hats and you sit down and wondering, I wish I could just pay someone else to do all of this. So it's like you hit that breaking point, and most of us hit that breaking point. And when you do, that's exactly that, aha moment, a light bulb pops off where you should really hire someone at this point and not just think of it as a thought, but actually execute on it. So when you get to that aha moment and ask yourself the question, should hire someone, or should I hire someone? Then yes, you should. So when you're at that stage, whether it's you're making $300 a day, whether it's you find yourself fulfilling 25 orders manually yourself as a dropshipper, whether you're getting 20, 30 emails of customers talking about your product, inquiring about the different sizes, where it's being shipped from. And more importantly is you're getting to the point where you're running a lot of ads, you're managing it, or you're creating so much content. Like the list goes on and on. When it gets to that point, you'd most definitely need to hire someone because you're going to be able to release all that tension and stress from you so you can focus on the core part of your business, which is to just make more money. And what that equates to is like better marketing, better suppliers, better products, and also being able to actually fulfill your orders on time. But things like, returning emails or even manually uploading orders to a spreadsheet and sending to a supplier and stuff like that, those are all things you can just outsource and get your first team member to actually do. So that's when I would say it's more so like the aha moment.
Awesome. And definitely, when you're also realizing you're starting to work way too in the business where you're doing all of this order fulfillment, dealing with customer questions because you're getting more orders, you're most likely getting more inquiries from customers about your product or your brand or return policy and etc., then that's when you really should step back and see if there's an opportunity to outsource the nitty-gritty tasks that you as a CEO does not really have to do, including answering customer emails, making all of those Excel sheets or whatever to fulfill orders and all of that. And then have someone else do that so that you can work on the important parts of the business, such as actually growing the business and growing the different marketing channels and all of that, and focusing more so on the Facebook ads because that's spending a lot of your money. So when you do hit that point, that's when you should really think and consider about outsourcing a lot of the different tasks that you don't want to do, or hiring that first team member.
Hey, it's Jaden. Are you enjoying our episode so far, or our episodes before that? Well, if you are, we just want to thank your loyalty and support for listening to our podcast because we cannot grow without you. So that's why up to this point, we're going to give you exclusive access where no one else has in order for us to help you succeed in dropshipping. And this is how it's helped our students become successful. And what we are going to share with you is one of our proven steps in order to find winning products that we believe you would enjoy. So in order for you to claim your exclusive access, all you have to do right now is open up your desktop or your mobile and go to launchersacademy.com/method. That's launchersacademy.com/method. And you'll get a lot of value from there. And also more importantly, you'll find out exactly how to find your winning products and how it's helped our current students find their winning product, and you'll be on your way to success. So that's launchersacademy.com/method.
Now, Christy, we talked about when you should hire your first team member. So the next question evidently is, who should you be hiring for your first team member?
I think when it comes to considering who you should hire, it's so important because now you're making more sales and you're getting questions from people. And as you mentioned, people are asking about policies and refunds and everything, and more questions about the product. I think it's so important to look into hiring someone for customer support, because customer experience is number one priority, because those are the people that are paying you and buying from your store and supporting your brand. So you definitely want to create a positive customer experience for them. So when people go into your store and they're coming from your ads, they see your product and they want to know more about your product first before they make the purchase. They're going to ask questions, and you want to make sure that you have someone there that can answer them, instantly, because you want to make sure that you capture that sale, right? When someone is on your website. So you definitely want to have someone that's readily available to answer all these questions for you. And, whether it's on the sizing of the product or anything about the product specifications, you want to be able to answer the customer because they are, still in the process of making their decision, and you want to make sure that you answer them fully so that they can really trust you as a brand and buy from you and make the purchase. So it's super important to invest into someone that can manage the customer support aspect of your business, first of all.
Yeah, for sure. Completely agree with that. It's almost thinking about, you as a CEO of your business, which area of the business do you not really want to do? And usually the first thought is customer support. And not only because you're just answering customer emails or even on a live chat when they do come in, and that's very, very important for your experience as a customer, but it's also, if you get any inquiries that are not as ideal or you get unhappy customers, you don't really want that to affect you and then later on what you're going to be doing the rest of your day for your business. So if you can outsource that, what you're also really doing here is you're protecting your energy so that you are able to spend that same energy and maintain your positivity as a business owner to do the important tasks. A lot of times when you are dealing with a not as happy customer, and this happens in every single industry, is not just dropshipping, is that you'll find your energy is going to really be drained, and you never really want that to happen. So definitely think about the customer support as one item you want to outsource, and that's very important because as a customer, their customer journey is being able to see that front-facing person or being able to get the help they need when they need it, and they expect a fast response time. Now, circling back as well, after customer support, I'm going to go back to Jaden here. Who would you say would be another potential team member that you would hire for?
I would say the next hire that you can consider is probably someone to help you with content and social media, because that's going to be very important, right? So if you're at the stage where you're already hiring your first hire and everything's going well, you're probably at the stage where you're building a brand now. And building a brand is completely different from drop shipping in a sense that you're investing a lot of your eggs into, social awareness and that brand equity. So starting social media channels, and starting those social media channels is very tedious and you don't get results right away because you're just building brand equity. The purpose of it is not to get sales. channels to build your brand. It's just to be able to kind of attract more people and have people understand what you're all about and build that community. So starting a social media channel and creating content, it's not easy. So you would create social media channels, you would post on a daily basis. And when you post on a daily basis, that's like, if you break it down on a very simplistic, time horizon, that's 7 pieces of content every single day if you're to post once a day. And posting once a day for a brand is really not, too much. It's actually just enough or a little bit too less. Sometimes brands post 3 or 4 times a day. So being able to actually have someone manage that for you is going to make all the difference, because you don't want to sit there on like a website just putting together graphics and figuring out exactly what to write out in terms of your caption, and also being able to understand theme and how to put together your social media channel. It's just a lot of headache, and once again, it doesn't yield a return right away, because you want to focus on things that yield a return right away, and social media is not it. It's just to be able to help you in the long run, so that way you can spread the message and have more people understand who you are. But in terms of sales, it's not going to make you a sale right away. So someone to be able to kind of help you with content and building out your social media channels is going to be very beneficial. And when I say content, it also helps you with your marketing. So this is someone that can also help you build better marketing videos, better marketing content in terms of when you're running your products, because you cannot always rely on the same marketing content that you had initially that got you to where you are. You constantly have to keep changing things up. And you can't do that all by yourself. So hiring someone like a marketing assistant is going to make all the difference. And that would what I would consider as a second hire for your business, because marketing is super important as well as customer service.
Absolutely. And you have to remember, you are in the e-commerce space. So everything that you do is all digital. And how are you really going to get your brand credibility to be up there? Well, it's going to be the content that you're posting. It's your website. It's anything that you really do as a brand and you put out there for the public, for your potential audiences and your potential prospects. Amazing. Now, hiring is a huge decision that a lot of business owners make. And I know that sometimes it gets really overwhelming, especially if you've never hired anyone before. So we're going to end this episode off with giving a few tips on how to make the best hire that you can, and any tips that you have in terms of choosing the right person to help you with that hiring process. I'm going to start off with Christy this time.
Yeah, I think it's so important, when you are hiring someone, to make sure that they are the right fit for your business. So I would say, first of all, you want to lay down what your values are as a business, what are your core values that you want to share with your team. So I would list out, 5 core values of your business, and really nail down which ones are the most important to you in terms of hiring someone that's going to be on your team long term and going to be working with you. So whether they are, hungry to learn, that could be one of your values as well. Really dedicated to customer service. That could be another value as well. So really kind of narrowing down your top 5 values that you could share with your new hire, and seeing if they align with those values as well is super important, I would say, when it comes to making your first hires. And then number 2, of course, I would say, is really considering what exactly you need in terms of from this new hire, in terms of skill sets, because you want to make sure that the skills that this new hire has does align with what exactly you need. And you definitely want to, test out and check out their portfolios if you are hiring someone on the marketing team, and really understanding who they are as a person and how they fit into your team in terms of skill sets. And again, in terms of the values as well that I mentioned as my first tip as well.
Amazing. And completely agree, right? The values are so important, because if you're going to be working with this person day in and day out, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, however long, you want to make sure that what they believe is also what you believe. And values is so important in that, because once you start working together, if you have misaligned values, that's when a lot of conflict can happen. And you definitely don't want that in your business. Now, on to Jaden, what would you say are some hiring tips that you can give out to our audience here?
I would say 2 things. One is take your time with hiring. Don't rush into it because you just want to get out of the way. you would do yourself more justice by being able to vet out people and find the one that you get a good feeling with and getting the time to know and really just making an ultimate decision that based on all the facts and data and your interviews that this is the right person. So jumping into it just because you've never done it or you just want to get out of the way and just because you are stressed or you just need help immediately, you don't want to get into that because you might find yourself hiring the wrong person and then you don't see the results, you get jaded. And you really, at the end of the day, some people who get jaded by hiring, they just don't want to hire at all. And they have the mindset like, I can just do this myself. I don't need to pay someone to do this. So, the wrong hire is usually when you rush into it. So take your time, vet out, the people that you're looking at, the candidates, and get to know them. So that way you can find someone that fits within your values, like Chrissy said. So that'll be the first thing. The second thing with a hire is really be very clear on the duties and who you want to hire. So the responsibilities. And sometimes a lot of new CEOs or a lot of new founders, when they get into like the role of hiring and managing, they're not very clear on what they want this candidate to do. So it really just confuses you and also the candidate or the hire you bring on because you're not sure exactly what you want to offboard or delegate to them. And I see it far too often with previous experience where not being clear with what you want the hire to do, you might micromanage, you get frustrated, the hire might feel frustrated too because you're not helping them. You're just literally just telling them what to do and you're not giving them support to go over exactly what they should be doing. And more importantly is you're just doing the work yourself. And they're just wondering, what are they getting paid to do? I mean, what's the point of being here? And they get them motivated and they leave. And you're going to think that, they're not that good. But at the end of the day, you were the reason why they left because you didn't give them any roles or responsibilities. So just being very clear on what you want to outsource and just be very, very committed to actually teaching the person to do those roles and not micromanaging. So the more clear you are on what you want this individual to do, and that not only will help you, but also be able to get more quality individuals, right? So if you want someone that's just customer service, awesome. Just stick to customer service. Don't try to get them to do customer service plus marketing plus website development plus all that. Like no one's a jack of all trades like that. So if it's just customer service, you will do yourself more justice to go like, I just want you to do customer service. I just want you to return emails. I want you to just basically be able to help me fulfill. That's it. And you leave them at that because it's going to be easier for them to understand. So that way the learning curve is a lot lower and you know exactly what you can leave them alone with. So the less is more in this case.
Love that so much and completely agree with that. What you're trying to do here when you're hiring your team members, remember, is that you want this person to be with you long term. You're not hiring them for the short term just to be here for a few months. You want them ideally to be with your business for years to come as you continue to grow your business as well. And they'll grow along with you as well as you growing yourself as well along in this very long and fruitful journey. So when you do make your hire, you have to think about it in that sense. The person I want to hire is going to be with me long term. And when you think about it in that lens, the people that you're going to choose, you're going to be a lot more stringent in who you're going to hire first. So you don't run into the issue of having to terminate them later on potentially. That is never a fun experience firing people, speaking from our own experiences. And you can really have someone grow with you and you can give that trust to them when you see them working hard and growing along with your business because they truly want your business to succeed along with yourself because your values align with their values as well. So those are the tips in terms of who you should be hiring, when you should be making that first hire, and what are some, the things that you should be looking for when you are going through that hiring process. And hope you enjoy and stick with us again in our next episode.
Did you enjoy this episode?
If you did, which we believe you did, as we dropped a ton of value,
Support us by giving us a 5-star rating.
That's 5 stars, not 3, not 4, but 5 stars.
also, we'd love to hear from you, so please leave your comment below.
And we'll be sure to get back to you. Take care, and until next time.